guys.
Welcome to HB Reality.
I have a whole setup and a whole shtick already.
A whole shtick.
Oh, yes.
I'm Hanna.
I'm Niona Skyler.
Also Hanna.
We're all here today to discuss gender fluidity and what that means. I guess we could get right into it, unless you guys want to, not raw dog this.
Oh my gosh, well, if I had a nickel for every time
Yes, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, and let's get this started.
Awesome. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. We're so lucky that you decided to come here today.
You are lucky.
Happy
I'm kidding.
Saturday. Okay. So I just wanted to discuss a couple things before we start asking questions. So there is a difference between gender and sex. So your sex is biologically what you were born as, but gender is simply what you identify as. Most people are unaware of that difference, I think, or a lot. I mean, it's more mainstream now, but definitely here to give you more information and educate the general public.
Yes.
So, gender identity. It is essentially when you identify as on a personal level, like man, woman, another gender, or your personal sense of identity. And then the way you express it is how you want the world to see you.
I completely agree.
Okay.
I love that. I think that gender has, honestly, anymore, no boundaries. And it really shouldn't have had any boundaries in the first place, even 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years ago. Mm-hmm. But obviously with us progressing as a society and as humans, we are now starting to accept a lot more than we did 20 years ago.
Yes.
Right? So I really don't think there is any boundaries with gender.
There shouldn't be. I mean, there should be a freedom to it.
Exactly.
It is freeing, like, to be able to break away from what society kind of deems as important in terms of gender. Because, it's a societal construct.
Right, and being able to kind of just be yourself without any judgment of that.
Absolutely. And that's so important. Because when we empower an individual, we can then, be more successful.
As a nation and as a human society itself.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I love that.
Awesome. So let's start with some questions for you.
Perfect. I love questions.
Okay, so let's hear about your story.
Yes, please.
Which one?
Give us all the dirty deeds. So, how did you start doing drag?
Okay, so I started drag. I've been doing drag for 5 years now in the state of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I knew I wanted to do drag when I was actually a freshman in college at UPJ. I tried on my friend Melanie's heels, and I was like living for it. I loved it.
Shout out to Melanie.
I was like, I think I need to do something with this. And that's right when I first had come out. Actually, months before, when I was in high school, I had come out about 4 months before I graduated. So really, I wish I would have done it sooner. But time and place, everyone finds
Was that a surprise to anyone around you?
No, not at all. All of my friends were pretty much throughout middle school and high school. My best friend Jenna and my group of close friends, they all kind of like opened the closet and were like, "You ready? You coming out? What's going on?" Then they're like, "Nope, okay." They shut it, and I had no idea. So I actually did. So the first time I knew I was gay, I'll tell you the story. It's really good. I was in the locker room in 7th grade. And the captain of the football team at the time, his name was Aaron Bradley.
Sounds
Not really.
Sounds hot.
Not really, but just for
right.
Sounds like
that is like a perfect name.
He took his shirt off, and we were in the locker room, okay? He had like 17 abs, and I'm looking over, and I'm like, why do I like that? I shouldn't like that. So then that's what started 5 years of denial, and then that was just awful. But I wish I would have come out then, but back in... Hell, what year was that? 2007, 2008.
Yeah,
It really was so much different. That's not that long ago.
The things that people said then was so out of pocket. Like
you couldn't do. You were like, my middle school made this whole. I remember the list, and there was like biggest boobs, easiest girl, and that. I was number 1 on the gay list, of course, which I am so proud of. Thank you. Oh my gosh. But no, it was great. So 5 years of denial, and then after I had come out, I started living my life and completely just blossoming from there.
Yeah.
Like I completely, and even
living in your truth.
Exactly. And I thought in 2014 was when I graduated high school. As soon as I came out, I kind of skyrocketed into the popularity because I thought I was gonna be like, oh, the gay kid, beat him up, hit him, this and that. No, people were flourishing towards me. I remember my best friend Jenna was so pissed because I left the band table and hung out with the hot girl table. I sat with the mean girls table and it was so much fun. But anyway, after that, I had went to college and really started understanding gender then, and really didn't understand gender was just more than male and female until I started doing drag. And fast forward to lately, I have been wearing makeup as a boy, doing putting eyelashes on. I have acrylic nails.
Love that.
Thank
Love
you.
that.
But I really have been just diving into the whole, like, really not wanting to fit into anything. So
Because you don't have to.
You don't want to be put in a box. Why would you?
exactly. So I mean, hey, I sleep with myself at the end of the night. Nobody has to, so I don't know why anybody would have to say anything about it. And if they do, I'm just like, what the fuck got you going on with your life that you have to put somebody else down?
I agree.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's just in a nutshell who I am, and I completely stand all of my LGBTQIA friends, everybody who goes through that daily struggle, but also the allies, you too. I mean, I am so amazing. I feel so great and amazing when I have people that are just like, live your life, we're here for it,
right,
you know?
Right,
yes.
Because if you got to put someone else down at the end of the day, you don't like yourself.
Absolutely.
Exactly. There's definitely some.
What are you scared of?
Right. There's definitely more issues there.
So have you always thought of, drag as something positive?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So even when I was little, I knew I was going to be a star. I still think I'm. There's a quote. I'm pretty sure RuPaul says it.
I love that.
He says, someone asked him when, and I think it's RuPaul. Don't quote me on this, but someone asked him, well, when did you think you were a star? And he said, well, I never thought I wasn't one.
Oh,
So I
Love
when
that.
I heard
That's the
that
key.
quote,
That is
Right,
the key.
really.
when I heard that quote, I'm like, that's me. I completely stand with that. I know.
Right.
And lately, some of my best friends, Tootsie Snyder, I was telling her, I'm going on this journey right now of really exploring drag and wanting to make the next big step and kind of do something huge with the gay community. You know, whatever that is, I'm going to do something big with that. And I know that I will be some kind of a star, but not will be, but I never thought of myself as not one. So drag really has just helped me become the monster that you have right in front of
And it's
you.
also such an art. Like,
It is.
It really is.
I
mean, hello?
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
It's a beautiful.
I woke
It's
up like this and
crazy.
just put lashes on and you picked me up. It really wasn't much.
It's a beautiful form of expressing yourself.
It is.
Right.
Just like yoga for me, like that's
your art.
That's my art.
Yes.
And we all have something, and if we don't have that one thing that we can express ourselves, we just
Exactly.
feel so stifled and not as
Yes.
happy.
I never thought that I was artistic until I started doing drag. Like, I draw stick figures. Like, art class was not my biggest thing. I kind of like clay, pottery class was fun. But when you get down to it, I mean, this is all my art, so I really
But you
love
can
that.
beat your face to the gods, honey.
Oh, well, thank you. A lot of alcohol.
Okay. So, what's your relationship with gender?
Oh, it's been taking off lately. These past 2 weeks of me, like, just looking cute, putting makeup on, and wearing lashes, I feel like I have just been... I identify as a cisgendered male. Yes.
Okay.
But I don't feel like I fit into that category because sometimes I like to wear makeup and sometimes I put a lash on. Like, I can be a guy and wear acrylics and wear lashes.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we have, I hate to talk about this person, James Charles, Jeffree Star, all these people are supposedly born men, but really are just kind of diving out of the construct that we're told and given at birth and as humans. You're a woman, you're a man, but honestly, when we get down to it, there's walls that are placed, but they're made of paper. You can just break through them and go wherever you want. So, I think I identify as a man, but I like to wear lashes. I like to, put nails on, but I don't feel like I fit in the construct of a typical male. So I mean, maybe I'm more of a non-binary kind of person, but I mean, I would say I categorize myself as a cisgendered male.
Awesome.
A gay-ass homosexual male, but other than that, you know.
And as we get older, I think just generally, we become more comfortable with our
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so to build on that and like really perfect your craft is
Yeah.
so amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. Does your mood or what society expects of you change the way you present?
No. I could give a rat's ass about what society has to say.
So it all depends on your mood, basically.
Exactly. Like one day if I wake up and I'm like, I gotta put some lashes on, I want to look good because I teach cosmetology, and I'm like, I gotta show these, mostly, not everybody's woman there, but most of the girls that are there kind of already assume that I can't do makeup and that I can't do
And
any
you're like,
kind of... Exactly.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
Correct. So sometimes when I like to put an eye on and
Right.
lashes, they're like, oh, he does know what he's talking about. So I'll wake up some days not wearing anything makeup wise, and some days I'll do a full blue eyeshadow beat and, you know, put some glitter under the brow or something. So it really is my mood.
Yes, when you did my makeup,
Oh, that was fun.
my boyfriend was like, oh my god, like, you look amazing. And I'm like, thank you. Like, you'll meet Bobby.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. That was a good time.
That was a good time. You're really amazing.
Thank you. It is all about mood though.
Yes. Okay, so what terms, you said cis male to describe yourself. What terms would you like society to be more aware of?
Non-binary.
Non-binary.
If there was one that I could pick one, non-binary would be the best one, because I think that there are a lot of different there's a lot of different chapters and a lot of different routes and a lot of different streams, I guess you could say, to gender, but the biggest one that I feel like can fit all of that in a good nutshell is non-binary.
Okay.
If people took male, female, non-binary, I think that would just be the perfect start to all these other routes and streams that people want to go on with their gender. So, you know, I think that, I hate saying you know and like, but I think
fun.
that if we had a society instead of male, female, if we had one that was male, female, and then non-binary, honestly, that would kill a lot of the hate, because if you're someone that's a male and you identify as a woman, a lot of people are like, wait, you can't do that, there's only two genders, blah, 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 when really there's not. If we had non-binary as that first start to another option, I feel like we would have a lot of a different outcome with hate towards each other and
Absolutely.
scaredness and difference. Like, there shouldn't be anybody, people shouldn't, and the reason people are afraid and scared is because it's something they don't understand. And
Right,
that they
and that's
don't know.
exactly what, as soon as you said, that's exactly what I thought. People fear change and don't like it to
Exactly.
be, you know, out of what they're used to.
If
so.
we went back to 1950, not even 1950, years ago, if we went back to like 1800s, 1900s, whatever, let's just use 1950 as an example, and we had the pink sign, and I know you have that, the colors on your thing. I love how organized this is. But like the pink sign is girls, blue is boys, and if we had like a yellow as non-binary, even back then, we would be leaps and bounds so much further in life than we are right now. Right now, we're in a good spot. It's 2021. We've got a lot going on for us.
Right.
But if we did this so much earlier, we would be like, it would be a world of a difference.
Absolutely.
So I think non-binary would be a great way to start a third option.
Yes, and it was all kind of built on marketing. So like, it was just making money. That's why we decided, oh, let's put a gender, a color on a gender. Like, it's ridiculous, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, here for the neutral tones.
Seriously.
I agree. I think that, and talking about gender with the gender reveals and whatnot, I understand people think it's a cute gig, but
the gig is up.
the gig is up. The gig is up. I really was never a fan. I thought it was just another way to have a party or something.
Yeah.
But it was, a lot of it is ignorance. So ignorance can be a bad thing. Ignorance really is just when you don't understand something. Okay. So let's say, Hannah, you are engaged. I'm just using you as an example. And you have your husband and you're married and you are just a ignorant couple where you're not understanding. I'm not there.
You're some dumbasses.
I just the ignorance because you don't know. Oh my gosh, let's have a gender reveal party, and you're loving. You would love your child either way, whatever, gay, straight, whatever. But you're like gender reveal party, but later on when you have a child, 18 years later, your child comes out as non-binary. That's I feel like something a foot and mouth syndrome, a foot and mouth thing where you would be like, oh my gosh, 18 years ago we had a gender reveal and now my child is not identifying as anything, and we already had them marked, hey, they're a boy, and now I feel like an asshole because my child doesn't fit into that, but we already preset this for them.
And you wasted so much money on like boy
Exactly.
Right,
and if you would do something, not saying you have to get rid of gender reveals because I think, hey, I'm the first one down for a party, but instead of blue and pink, have like a yellow. Instead of we're having a boy, we're having a baby. We're having a child.
And all that matters is if the baby's healthy. So what does nothing else?
Exactly. So I think people that are having the gender reveal parties, and I may have friends of mine on Facebook, I'm not sure that do gender reveal parties. I just wish that they weren't as, and I'm not saying my friends are awful, nasty, like closed-minded people.
No.
They may be ignorant and not understand, and they don't know that it's kind of really not a cute thing to do. If you do happen to have a child and they come out as non-binary, and I just don't think I'm not a fan of it. I think they should do a yellow or a green. Hey, we're having a baby, not a boy. You know,
reforming those like preconceived notions of what a child should be. Because once you place those expectations on them, that's really not fair.
Yeah.
That's really not fair, and you're not giving your child a fair shot to be who they are.
Correct.
Okay. And then, what do people not know about the drag queen community that you wish they would?
Oh, something that they don't know about drag that I wish they would know. First of all, don't touch us. Unless it's given, like when we're at shows and all of this, it's a lot of the bachelorette parties and a lot of people are, oh my gosh, your makeup looks great. Oh my god, your hair looks great. Girl,
get off me.
Don't. I can't do that. So don't touch us. It is a lot more expensive than you think, but I don't look at drag as money. I look at it, it's
an investment.
No, not even an investment. It's something that I love to do. Like, I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the fame, the money, whatever it is. I do it because the main point is I do love shoes and heels and lashes and everything. But when I'm on stage and I'm performing, even right now with this podcast and people watching on my Facebook, and I've said this since I've started and I will say it till the day I freaking die. I'll probably have it on my tombstone or on my urn if I get cremated. But if I can make you forget about reality for 3.5 minutes, my job is done. I want to take you out of this reality that we live in and just smile and laugh and look at something that takes you away from all the trouble and all the craziness of the world. For if I can do that for a number of 3.5 minutes, my job's done.
Yeah, love that. A true entertainer.
Yeah, exactly. And then yelling at people on the microphone is always nice too. That's my favorite.
Get some aggression out.
Oh my God.
That's awesome. But I have been to a show with you.
Yes.
And it was just, I almost cried, to be honest with you, because it was just so amazing to have.
It was a fun time.
It was just so amazing to like see people really get to be who they are.
Yeah.
And it is a show. Like, you are completely entertained the entire time. It like sucks you in. It is a form of escape. And as someone who is a huge fan of entertainment, I loved it.
Yeah.
I need to go.
It was very touching.
Yes, absolutely.
I would love it. I would love it.
It's something that you really do forget about this fucked up reality. I'm sorry if you guys swear on your podcast.
We do.
You have a drag queen here.
We do sometimes. It's
I'm usually the culprit.
Honestly, it takes us out of this fucked up world we live in.
And it's only getting worse.
It is for 5 minutes.
Especially right now with everything that's going on, COVID and all that.
So thankfully we can have those.
Exactly.
gatherings.
That's the reason I do it. I want to entertain you. I want to make you laugh. And it feel it's a.
You're having fun. It's not like work.
There's this drag queen. She's kind of famous. Her name's Sharon Needles. She won RuPaul's Drag Race a while ago. But she told me one time I was at a backstage P-Town with her. She was like, "Hey girl, how are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm fine." She goes, "You working?" I'm like, "Yeah." doing shows, and this is before COVID. And I said, how are you? She goes, oh, I'm just working. I need to get back on the road. She was on like a month vacation and whatnot.
Cool.
And she said, I was like, I'm just real tired. She goes, but are you having fun? And I said, yeah, I love it. It's great. She's like, well, that's what all drag is. That's all drag is you have fun.
Yeah.
So she gets paid a lot of money to do something that she loves to do for fun, and that's what it is. It's fun. It's a part of me, but it's also something that has helped me with my gender identification and my
expression,
who I am. So it is something that I love.
That's
and I
amazing.
think everyone like should apply that. Like when you have something that you love in life, you should treat it as that. Like people who have like the 9-to-5 jobs and just are miserable. Like at some point, it's not just like about the money. It's about like what makes you like happy and whole.
Exactly.
And like something like this is a perfect example because you're doing it because you love it, and it's kind of like, oh, I'm getting paid. That's a bonus.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I do it.
That's how it should be.
I do love it, and then if you can make some coin with it too on the
Right.
side, that's I'm not complaining.
Even better.
If I could get a couple bucks for doing something I love, hey, that's even better.
That's the dream, and that is
the goal.
dream.
Yeah, the American dream.
Yeah.
So with everything in life, I feel as humans, we are multifaceted, and to be able to access different parts of yourself and express it is one of the most beautiful things.
Yes.
And it feels good too. Like you feel
and when you have like people who
line.
are able to do that, it's like sheds a light on other things, and like a certain person won't feel like they can't be like that. Like they're like, oh, this person is expressing themselves the way that they want.
That
like
they see
it makes it makes people feel comfortable. Like okay, I can do that too. Like I don't have to feel alone or like trapped in this body. You know what I mean? You can literally be who you want to be.
Yes.
And that's so beautiful. And that happens.
It is.
Big thing that I compare like what we're just talking about with is artists, painters. They can do something they love and make a lot of money with it. So that's something that the biggest thing is just finding something that you love and just doing it. My brother, he plays guitar and he's in school for business management right now. Ugh, gag me with a spoon.
Yeah, that was my major.
So I'm sorry.
Gag me with a spoon.
He has played with the Grinaldi brothers. I don't know if you know who they are. They're part of a big band from the 80s, and they were huge, and they're from Pittsburgh, and he's played at Hard Rock Cafe, and he's done all of these shows and gigs. But he told me, and I love him, and I will support him with whatever he does. He wants to do something that is safe, secure, and that will make him content. And I tell him, he's a musician. Thank you, vodka. He's a musician. He plays guitar. I am a drag queen, and I perform. I'm doing what I love, and I want to make it big. He needs to do the same thing that I think, but he doesn't want to take that risk. And we only have one life, one shot at this.
Yep.
I think he should take that risk, but he wants to be comfortable and content. And we all have the potential to be something and do something huge. We're all here for a reason.
We all have
we all have purpose, like we
but
really do.
I think that people that are scared or don't think that they can make it, that's already going to set yourself up to not make it.
Exactly. And it's like you're not believing in yourself. And like when we talked about like on the last podcast, just believing in yourself in general. If I have to look in the mirror every morning and say I'm a bad bitch, then like I'm gonna do that.
You are going to be that bad bitch.
And I have to continue to do that and work on myself and do those kinds of things. But you're right. You're not gonna reach the highest like point of yourself if you don't take those risks.
Yeah,
you don't
those
do
high
these kinds of
vibrations.
things. And I mean, you're gonna go through some shit, and you're probably gonna get beat down so many times. But it's when you get back up. It's when you get back up, and you just keep going and striving, because like that's building your character.
It is a lot of beat down.
Yeah.
It is.
But we make it through. And
I mean, and if you have haters, that's
you made it.
Let
you
me-
made it. You have haters.
Listen, another drag queen, as I name drop again, Bianca, she says people that have hateful comments, keep them coming because they're not going to fuck up my bank account.
That's so true.
And that's concrete, baby.
So true. So do you have, all right, personal plugs, where can we find you?
Oh, I love this part. I am at Niona Skyler on Instagram. That's Niona, Niona, and then Skyler, Skyler. Just that on Instagram. I am in the process of making a Twitter. I have a boy Twitter, but I don't know. The whole Twitter thing.
We don't know him.
I'm on Facebook too. I can put my name on there. As a boy, but Niona Skyler. You can find me on Instagram. That's pretty much where I reside, and I talk to everybody. We have like a cute following, and it's very
gorgeous.
It's very fun. Yes.
That's awesome. Is there any basis we want to cover before we shut down?
I think that if I could say anything to anybody watching with online or listening to us, don't give a fuck about anybody or about what anybody says or what anyone has to say to you. Just don't give a fuck. It's so much easier. As soon as you can let that go, that's amazing. Just don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
Moral of the story.
There it is. Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing.
Yay! Thank you so much for coming. HB Reality. Follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
Yoga Burn and Handband 432.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Bye.